Interesting. I'm way in the quarter, and I totally forgot to do this. Love live. Cool. Why am I in the quarter? Like that. Hello. What the fuck? Ah, haha. Okay. Hello, Midnight Coders, and welcome to the Midnight Cafe. My regular co-host Prof is not available with us today. He is currently has better things to do than hang out with us mere mortals, so we will bully him for that later. However, today we are joined we are joined by TonicBox, the creator and maintainer of YABR and JStudio. Now, before we dive into what the hell YABR is, can I take some shots at the name choice? What the hell does YABR mean? And welcome to the show, Tonic.
Hey, it was the name I picked for it at the very beginning. It's originally um, it stands for yet another bytecode reader. So at the beginning, whenever I wrote the thing that turned into this, it was just me wanting to understand the class file spec a little bit better. So it at first it literally was just a class file reader, like a parser. Um, but it doesn't really stand for anything anymore because I'm too lazy to rebrand it, and it's already pretty pretty far along. So
Okay, so yet another bytecode reader. So what is YABR? What has it what was it? What has it become? Like where did it start? Like tell me a little bit about the journey of YABR.
um, kind of hard to explain. So YABR at its core is basic. So YABR at its core is two different um, or at its core it's two different IRs, which in IR is the intermediate representation, right? So it's just a way of representing, a program or code. Um, it has a SSAIR, and then above that, um, it has a structured IR. Um, SSA stands for static single assignment. That's where everything is boiled down into, or where everything's assigned exactly once. I'll show you what that looks like later. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit lower than the structured IR, which is a representation that represents higher level constructs like expressions and statements and stuff like that. But you have um, these two different IRs, and then you have a ecosystem built around it, right? So that ecosystem, there's the uh, decompiler side and the bytecode side and all of that. Then there's the side above it, which is the there's the reader side, and then there is the compiler and emission side, which sits above the structured IR. But it's just if I um, more or less, though, it's a sort of a platform toolkit for working with the Java language, though.
So now does this allow you to just read bytecode or can you manipulate it as well? Or like how does
No,
that
you can read, you can manipulate, you can generate, you can compile. The so several different layers, right? Very
Mhm.
bottom, you can feed in, class files, jar, whatever. parse that into you can parse that and you can lift that to IR or to SSA, do changes there, lower back. SSA can lift into structured, transform a structure can also go to SSA. Structure can emit source. You can structure can also take source and lower it back into structured IR. So it's basically a bidirectional compiler and decompiler where every layer is mutable.
I'm so curious to things that we can use and abuse with this. Um, okay. Um, what are some of the? I noticed you have an examples package. What what is in there that we could?
Examples is it's not really anything like structured or clean. This is just sort of a place where as I'm writing things like I'll scratch pad stuff and I just sort of leave things in here. Um,
Okay.
like for example, something that'll you know um, relate for you since I know that you did like RSPS stuff. Um, this is while I was working on the structured IR. So from some revision in the past, this is the class that contains the do action or invoke menu action, whatever you would call it.
Hmm.
And what this does is it reads in the class. You first we lift it to SSA, then we lift it to the structured IR, so we get statements and expressions. Then we loop through, or then we iterate through the tree and block statement, and we look for all instances of if statement blocks. We check if that if statement blocks condition is a var equals constant or constant equals var, all the different opcode checks
Okay.
in there, and then print out all of those individually. And I mean the concept of something like this is that you could say scan do action and dump all of the different packet building statements inside of those if statements, like if we were to run this. So the structured IR is nice because you can take compiled code and work with it. Oh, I definitely just published to Maven local and did not run this. But it's nice because you can take compiled code and work with it, manipulate it, uh, um,
Uh-huh.
extract stuff from it using higher level constructs, like more source level constructs. So yeah, we got all of our all those
I'm
broken
seeing
up
a lot
and
of
printed
text
out.
fly by. I'm seeing a lot of
Oh yeah,
text
see,
fly by, but nothing I can read. Okay, here we
oh
go.
yeah, so it's yeah, so
Okay.
uh, so see, it's just all the different opcode handlers from it, but it's nice because it allows you to do analysis or transformations and stuff from a higher level
Okay.
construct. Working with it's very similar to like, or working at that level is very similar to like if you were gonna be doing like using a source manipulation library, like using a Java parser, Spoon, etc. That was the idea behind it. I guess another thing to note about the library here is like as I was designing it, I tried to keep API as first class, meaning that with very, very, very few exceptions, there's not really any sense of internals. If something is needed by a system, that something is written as a reusable API.
Hmm. So what else can you do with this? Like, what are some of
Well,
these other?
some of the other use cases. So, compiling, decompiling, transformation, and analysis are really the four categories you would do with this. Compiling and decompiling, self-explanatory. Um, Analysis as a whole bunch of mm, so I explained, the layers that it can bidirectionally move between. But when you're, at the different layers, there's different types of analysis you can do, such as you can, you know, uh, generate, call graphs, collie graphs. Um, what's it called? Uh, you can do program dependency graphs, XREF. There's built-in systems for uh, different levels of analytic execution, like concrete symbolic execution over bytecode, um, and abstract execution over bytecode. Then you have some pseudo symbolic execution you can do over either the two IRs that help with some other analysis. And but the specifics are kind of a big answer there, but the categories are, like I said, just compilation, decompilation, mutation, and analysis. Take any Java program, jar, jar class. Think of anything you would want to do with that class, and or jar or whatever. You can probably do it. Of course, once we get into JStudio, it'll be a little bit easier and less abstract, showing you exactly what that all
Yeah, I was just
can
gonna
be
say
and
this
looks
this
like.
whole this whole thing powers JStudio, right?
Yep. JStudio was, I mean, it has some of its other accentuating features built into it, um, for supporting some stuff, but JStudio itself in large was just sort of written as a showcase project for YABR. It was really like the first uh, at least public test case project that I wrote that used YABR.
Okay. Um, so I'm getting a little slight complaint in our direction here. Um, Mama Africa, are you able to hear us any better now? I did some adjusting to the audio sounds. He was telling us that in the Discord and in here that it's a little bit low. Um, are you able to hear us any better? Please let me know. Going to continue on, I suppose, either way. But yeah, let me know if this is any better.
And
Um,
also, before we get a complaint, I'm trying my best to stick to more root terms and stay away from like domain terminology as much as I can explaining these things. But
hmm.
if and when I do use words that you don't know what they mean, or think that other people might not know what they mean, do stop me and ask me, okay, what's that mean? What is that?
So let's crack open JStudio,
All right.
because I feel like this will be easier. Look at you with a whole bunch of projects on the go.
I only have five open. I actually closed closed like 4 or 5 before we started the stream to make it a little cleaner.
Jesus, I thought I usually
Um,
run a lot of projects when I have like 3 or 4 on the go.
I'm often, working, going between, a project or two, and oftentimes projects I'm working on, depend on other projects. So, I'll have all of those open, and
Hmm.
that ends up being, quite often, 10 plus projects.
For projects that depend on other projects, can I introduce you to Git submodules?
Well, they're not meant to be. They're not meant to be the. Nah, I
I
don't want to
get you.
work with them like that.
I'm just busting your
They
balls.
are separate projects, and I will work with them separately. But
I'm just busting your balls, just like I do
so
for the fact that you have that orange thing that tells you you need an update. But anyway, let's.
yeah, I refuse. I refuse. New IntelliJ is gross. Um, Go ahead and launch JStudio over here.
I do
So
like this interface. I have to question. I already know
shoot.
the answer, but this is written in with swing, right?
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Just had to ask that.
We don't we're not enjoyers of uh manually writing anything with XML around here.
All right, guys. If you want to roast us in the comments, let's hear it. This is the war. Do you prefer swing or Java FX? Have it out in the comments, guys.
So I'll go ahead and this is the a, just a little demo application that I wrote that I often use for testing of these projects, but go ahead and open it here. So first, when you open a project, a little splash page here. I'll show you where the entry points are and some statistics. It'll show you, class file versions
Hmm,
that exist in the jar, so on and so forth.
I
But
like this.
go ahead and open a class. Again, this is done with YABR, so
And
this
this
is
was
the
just a jar file that you opened up?
yeah.
Oh, buddy.
This is the main class going through that whole pipeline, right? So it gets lifted into the base, it gets read. The class file gets read
Oh,
into the
oh,
base,
oh.
bytecode representation, lifted into SSA, lifted into the expressions and statements IR, and then that gets emitted as a source. So, like to show you, it's initially when it's read, it's read into this is the pretty primitive bytecode. It's
Mm.
read into that, lifted into SSA. So SSA, like I said, is where a program is represented, where everything is assigned exactly once. You can think of every variable as final. Um, I
Nothing is
can
truly
explain
final.
what I can explain what phi is later. The phi is basically a question mark, right? Like phi is SSA's solution for when you have multiple incoming values to something to handle branching and so on. Um, but So it gets lifted into that, and then you get the you get the expressions and statements IR, which is kind of a
Okay.
just an object structure. But this is what it looks like, and then that gets lifted into or that uh
So
will spit out source.
I'm just curious because I want to see this actually work out live. Um, I'm gonna send you a jar file. It's only a small file, but it's my midnight RPG. I'm just curious to see you crack that open in Yapper or in JStudio. There's no obfuscation done to it or anything. It's just I think it's
It's
just
fine.
my
But So one thing to explain about this really quick, the full decompiler pipeline for Yabber is very fundamentally different from um, other decompilers, right? Because it tries to answer a different question. Other decompilers like CFR or Prycon or Vineflower, Fernflower, etc. Um, those might have a little bit of edge case handling for malformed bytecode, etc. But their goal, their question they try to answer is, okay, how can we most faithfully represent in source exactly what the bytecode's doing? Um, the question that I try to answer in here is, how can I most faithfully represent semantically equivalent source to what the bytecode's doing? It's written to be more resilient to obfuscated code in that manner. Um,
Okay.
so like if I'm decompiling something that hasn't been obfuscated, like it's gonna be pretty identical. But if I decompile something that is obfuscated, maybe it has like irreducible flow or like control flow, something that can't be represented in source, or it has some form of um ND virtualization, or just whatever can't be represented in source. It has uh transformation passes split between the SSAIR and um, and the expressions and statements IR that will take that code and transform it into something that is semantically and behaviorally equivalent. Um, and then that equivalent source gets spit out. So it does handle obfuscated sources quite well.
Huh. Okay.
Um, but uh,
Middle of your screen. There you
yeah, replace current. There we go.
go. Ooh, it did pick up Java 25. Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
What
Okay.
would you like me to open?
Okay. This is cool.
Yeah,
This,
you can of course view images too.
oh, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. And this just like decompile the code too, like into like.
Well,
What's,
it will as soon as we open the class. I mean, it's not.
oh,
It,
okay.
it's read the jar file and loaded it in to uh,
Uh,
loaded it into bytecode, actually lifted it to SSA to preemptively do some analysis stuff like for XREFs and stuff like that, so that when you
so
decompile the
now,
class, you can more immediately have like the find references, etc.
is this not finding the main method because it's Java 25? Go into Midnight RPG.
I'm assuming that your main method is like uh
Oh, sorry, it's not
is
in here.
the
It is in main.java.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
So
a void
it's
main.
not static main with a string. I
Yeah.
don't think that would be a JStudio side thing. I don't think that I ever added in matching for that.
Okay.
But
Well, we just discovered a feature for you to add. Oh, would it actually need the full, like
yeah.
the per? Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, public.
Oh, it needs public too.
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure, but can you compile me one really quick where you have it as a public static void main?
Yeah, let me crack that open right quick.
Java 25 was a so prior to the game jam thing that you did, this supported up through Java 11, because that's all that I really worked with. And then for the game jam thing, for the
You're gonna make me
compile
build
time
this out as a.
transformations.
You're gonna
I
make me build this so it's a full-out class too. Okay, do that. Set package. Do that. Do
But
this.
you don't have to just build the class, just rebuild the jar.
No, no, no. I had to like I had my thing is just like straight up just void main was the thing. Now I had to add the package, the public class main, and
Yep.
you're making me
But
write like a barbarian.
so Java 25 was added then specifically for that challenge. So there's still a uh few oddities with Java 5.0, though largely those are um, going to be on the side of JStudio here because I never really did much Java 25 uh, testing in JStudio. It was all YABR side.
Shit, this one's a bit bigger. Okay, so there's that, and I'm gonna revert all that back to where I was. I am sending you apparently a 32 megabyte file now, 33 megabyte file,
Damn.
because that totally escalated quickly. What is in this jar? What? Okay. Is that even gonna? Is that even executable? Like what? This is why I hate Gradle. Uh, terminal. Java.
Is this the fat jar?
Yeah, this is the fat jar.
Well, because the first one you
Oh,
sent me was
no main.
256 KB.
Yeah, this one says no main. What the fuck? Okay, hold up. Let
It's
me
okay.
just
We can go through it. We just won't be able to launch it from inside of JStudio.
hold up. I got
Well,
this.
actually, we probably can. Hold on.
I got this.
So
I'm just gonna.
wait. Okay.
Not my main method. Haha. Alright, let me just do a straight up clean. It might have been the jar that I had, but fuck is this not? Oh, Jesus.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, tons of technical difficulties. Especially with the fact that I've got this written the way I do. Jesus. Talk about technical difficulties. Alright, let me just run this and see if that. Cool, that works. Now, uh. It is just Gradle build, isn't it? Like, is there a cleaner way to do this shit? Because this did not build my.
What
Oh no, wait a minute.
what do
Did
you
I?
have your in your Gradle? Do you have your build task set to finalize with the shaded jar or fat jar task?
Probably not. That's Midnight Engine. We're looking for this one here. I have got nothing for the build task. Of course not. Okay. Um.
It's all right. We just won't be able to run it from inside of here, but we can still look through the classes and do everything else. I'll just show you the other stuff using
Yeah,
another jar. So
that built a lot faster. Is this one smaller for some weird reason? No, it's still the same size. Yeah, we just roll with what you got.
all right. So here, pick a class. Tell me what to go look at.
still doesn't pick up that there's a main method, man. Check inside main.
Well,
But
I haven't let me download
oh, you don't
the
even know, you don't have the other one. Okay, I thought you were looking at the.
download open jar. I'm not sure. That's something I'll definitely have to look at later.
Ah, we found a bug.
Well, hold
Sorry,
on a second.
I get
Let me
excited
see
for
if
weird
this
things
is
like
a
that.
caching issue. Yeah, no. Okay, so tell me what to go look at.
I guess I don't even really know where to start. I was just curious to see what it all looked like as like
Yeah, tell me pick
decompiling
a
all my
class that
code.
you
You know?
wanna see what it looks like. Like, what's
Uh,
your most complicated class in here?
oh, I don't even know. Probably complicated. None of them are extremely
Complicated
complicated.
code,
I mean, I
nested.
suppose.
Well, think in terms of like code and control flow. You know, like nested stuff, lambdas, etc.
I don't even think I'm using too many with that. Scene maybe like the scene implementation. Down,
Where's
down, up. Up. Or scene maybe game screen maybe.
okay. Now here's while we're looking at this, here's a fun thing you can do. So you have source and bytecode views, and then you have dual, which shows you, you know, side by side, right? So,
Oh, that's
you
cool.
know, say I want to see what this line, you know, looks like in bytecode. So
I love it. I love that
double
the
click
first one is number
I can
42.
double click that line and it'll highlight, you know, what
Oh,
this bytecode is what compiles into that line or
oh
decompiles.
shit. That is
Or
cool as hell. I like that.
see like this one, right? You have item and mouse. So a load 0 loading the reference to this. So like the self object reference, since this is an instance method, then
Mm.
uh, a load 5, which is loading the fifth object, then I load 1. So the two arguments, and then um, invoking of the
That's interesting how your thing decompiled my in the set enti or on entity clicked. It's interesting how it broke down my if else statement for the instance
yeah.
of. That's interesting how it broke that down.
Yep. Well, like I said, it does an amount of restructuring, but the trade-off there is cleanly as you see here, like 90% of, you know, anything that's obfuscated, it'll decompile with the same amount of cleanness. It
I do
does some
like how the
transformations to be able to guarantee the expectation that control flow will be reducible.
hmm,
And then you see, you know, you get these IntelliJ style, you know, usage hints above methods and fields, classes and whatnot. You can click that and
yeah,
boom.
these are some of those recent features that you've been showing me or teasing me about in the last in the last few weeks. Like I love that you have the IntelliJ usages. Uh, that is impressive. What other little features do you have in here? 'Cause I know you've been showing me a couple, but what are some that we can showcase?
Um, well, for uh usage and other things, for YABR has built in a composable like
Wait, are you
query.
okay? Okay, what the
Query
fuck is it?
DSL.
Are you about to query this like it was SQL?
Well, yeah. So YABR has a first class like composable atomic query DSL for searching through or for querying information across all of the different layers and all of the different graphing and analysis systems built in.
Dang.
So it can do, really simple stuff like this. So like here it's just queried for, anywhere that you've done a print line.
Oh,
Um, but you can do a lot more in-depth queries than just that. But no,
okay. Like
just
how? Okay, my mind is kind of blown here. How complex can these, for all intents and purpose, SQL queries be?
um hold on just a second. Yeah, go look back at the reference. It's like
It's like, oh,
the query thing I wrote as a connector for other things to be able to use Yabber. I don't use them by hand too much, so give me just a moment.
man, this is
Um,
cool.
uh, you ever like reading through, files in the project and you have to sing the alphabet in your head because you keep not seeing it?
Every fucking day, the
Yeah.
alphabet is my favorite song. I sing it daily.
Uh, um, so like here's a from my examples,
Okay,
although I
so
don't know if this will
so
actually hit anything in here. Um,
so we're looking to count string builders. Yeah, I don't think I actually have any string builders in here, to be honest with you.
yeah, so this looks for so this, find methods where count, so count is, going to count matches to this condition.
Hmm.
We're looking for calls where the owner is string builder and the name is append and it's in a loop. So we're
Okay.
looking for a string builder concatenation and loops,
Okay.
which yeah, you don't
I
have any matches, but
was gonna say
you can
I didn't think I had that, but that's really interesting. Really interesting. Hmm. I'm
and
actually I'm really impressed with that. Oh shit, you have a history
you
view
have
down there.
yeah, for like changes that you make. Um, you also have,
Okay.
comments and bookmarks. So like say uh no one to add a um comment to line 12. Uh main no work. Then, if I move my mouse over this,
Okay, a little comment there in the gutter. Ah.
do your comments.
Shit. I like that.
Um
It even location. Not a nice line. Huh.
but yes, yeah, it has its own sort of local versioning for when you're making changes, similar to like well, not as robust as IntelliJ, but you can revert to points in history and
So
so on and so forth.
this thing is like a little fucking IDE in itself.
Yeah, that's the point.
That is
Um,
that is a
other
reverse
features,
engineer's wet dream.
you have some built-in, sort of SSA passes for
What?
running transformation. before and after. Um, so you have, constant folding, copy profit. Constant folding is just like, say, uh,
Yeah, you're
the
folding up lines
and it well,
or
no,
like,
no. In simple terms, like say you compile a piece of code that in that code it says like x is equal to 10 plus 5. Well, 10 and 5 are both constants, and it is reducible and provable that 10 plus 5 is going to be 15. So you fold them in together, and instead of 10 plus 5, it's just x equals 15. That sort of thing is what
okay,
constant folding does. um,
okay,
Copy
yeah, okay.
propagation,
For some reason, I didn't
dead
read that
code
as
elimination.
constant. I read that as content for some reason, and I was thinking, okay, it's like collapsing method bodies.
But yeah,
But
so
actually,
you get all
that's really
those,
good.
um, and then you can also
Script
script
editor.
your own IR transforms um, at SSA or expressions and statements. I are like an example. I have a few examples baked into here. Um, like this one, you probably know where this one comes from if you've ever looked at RuneLite. All the big like spammy named annotations that they throw on everything. Um, this
Hmm.
is an example of one of a of IR transform that would just go and remove all of
Okay.
those named annotations.
Ah,
But
that's interesting.
um, so you have that. Um, and I can run this and remove all dead members from everything that's currently loaded. So like all methods and fields and stuff that don't have any callers. Um, then um, oh, some of the other views, like we'll go back to game screen. So it's a fun method to look at. Hide entity clicks. So you have some other, you have a bunch of views that you can, switch between. So like for example, if we go to control flow here for onload, here's your control flow graph for onload. Um, you get program dependence, which is a little bit different. Can explain that in a second, but you get system dependence,
Hmm.
you get code property graph, you get a call graph. So
Jesus.
here's a
Okay.
call graph for onload. We go look in another one like start new game. You can change the level. So like here's a simpler one.
Okay, and then you can just step into it and go deeper. Is that what the depths do?
Yeah, depths just how deep are you tracing the call graph?
Okay.
Um then others like you can look at the constant pool of a class. That's I think pretty expected. You can look at the attributes of a class, so all the different class and method attributes. Um, for unknown reasons, when I first built this, I included, a hex view because that's totally useful with Java. Um, I think it just felt more complete. But there's those. There are some other features, although they'll be easier to show with the demo jar. Um, you have preferences, different themes you can set.
Okay.
Unless this wants to hang on me. Oh, there we go.
thought that said nerd.
or y-
Oh, GitHub
gonna
Lite. Get
gonna
that.
gonna
Get
yep,
gonna
gonna
flashbang
flashbang
us.
your audience.
Oh my
Yes, sir.
god. Oh. Why would you flash us?
Going back to normal.
Flashing is
You
illegal
can,
in the states.
choose your font size, um,
Okay.
etc. Um, you also have some other stuff, similarities. So this is for finding, methods that are possibly, duplicates of each other, like they do and or did in the RuneScape game pack. Um, this is pattern searching across a couple of different categories of stuff. It's just searching for strings. Um, this is some analysis, which I honestly think is probably not needed anymore. I could probably yeah, remove that at this point. I've been doing a lot of cleanup of like old features that have been superseded by newer things.
Hmm.
Um
So, in theory, if it works right, you can usually run this as well. So, like, you can technically
yeah.
like just take a jar and like
And
be
again,
editing
that
through it, and then
the issue with your main is going to be on the side of this because that run button, everything, that's all,
hmm.
Oh, wait, why?
Yeah, that's the thing I said was like I comment on that, delete that, and it should work. Yeah, I realized that myself after I sent you the jar. That's why I made a change, but never rebuilt it. But now you still don't have the run.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
It's hidden underneath the comment. But yes, we have the run now.
okay, cool.
Um,
It is Java
so
25.
25. Yep. Do I have 25?
Down, down, right
Yes, I
there.
do. You can, provide program arguments, VM option, tell it working directory. Go ahead and run. And it
And there's
didn't
no
like
cache.
something.
It didn't look as though you don't have the
No,
directory for the cache, isn't it? Or no class found?
no, no class found.
Oh, logger.
You didn't fast jar it,
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. It's not a fat jar. Okay, so it's just
but it's okay.
yeah.
We can do it with this over here.
But my next question was actually going to be, or actually no, let's go. Well, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
what was your next question?
I think that you mentioned to me that this was a feature, or maybe it was a planned feature. I'm not sure, but can you run a jar on your computer and then attach to it?
Yep.
Oh, buddy. Okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay,
can.
okay.
It's a
Um,
you don't you miss out on startup stuff from the jar by doing that.
but
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 yes, you can.
okay. So now, so
Here,
now, so now,
I can
if I was to
I can
run,
run the original that you sent me
if it'll run,
and attach to it.
yeah,
Um,
because I'm curious if you were to like
downloads.
if you were to run it and attach to it, or attach, you might not be able to run it. I don't know.
Jar.
Midnight. Yeah, no. Wait, what the fuck
Oh,
is
I
Java?
don't. Hold on just a second. It was an alias I set that didn't hold.
Oh, okay. Now if you connect
But
to that
give me just a
running
second.
jar, if you connect to the running jar, are you able to manipulate the bytecode live and like have it react, or like
Yeah,
almost
you can do hot patching. Okay, so here we go. Oh,
unable to access? What the fuck is that?
yeah.
Oh,
No main
yeah, no
manifest
manifest.
attribute.
So I was gonna say try to run the other one, but I got the error with the double. Yeah, there's the triple lines that are. Oh yeah, and no manifest came. Um, just give me a second, I'll do it. I got an idea.
Well, we can do that eventually just to show you some of the features. I'll go over to the demo jar.
Oh, I was just
So
gonna come into
first,
here and uh, setting. Oh wait, no, it's not settings. Build. Is it? No. File, artifacts, project structure, artifact, add an artifact, jar with dependencies, Midnight RPG main
do you
class
want
is
a copy
main.
paste for like a for like shaded jar? So I mean, that's all you want is you want a shaded jar task.
I'm just doing, well, I mean, I could do that, but I'm just doing this because it's also just as easy. Build artifact, build it, and it's gonna pump it out into my whatever directory. I forget what directory. Oat, there it is. Artifact. Copy that and paste this to you. If I type
All
the right
right.
button, 13 megabytes is what this guy is. And just to double check this because I totally didn't bother to. Is it gonna let me run it on my own computer?
Did you fix the main on this one?
I think so.
Okay.
No manifest. Oh, I didn't add that option.
That's why you want the shaded jar task. You
Yeah,
want to define the manifest. It's like
yeah, probably should have done that because this
if you look at my screen, where is it?
this usually
Um,
allowed me to create a. Oh, did I not empty from this? No. Huh.
is you need to set the main class so that the so that
No,
Gradle can
interestingly enough, there used to be two different types of options here, actually, that I just noticed. There used to be creating a jar and creating a runnable jar that I don't see anymore, which is interesting. Because like when you used to do that and go through the options things, it used to prompt you to, or it used to automatically create. Yeah, because this is looking for the directory of the manifest. Okay, so that was looking for. Did it create one? So I can just add that. Yeah, fuck it. What's the? Wait, what? The fuck did I add to Git? Oh, there's the manifest. Oh, and it says the main class. Cool, but it just didn't add it. Is that because it wasn't there? Build artifact. Build. View. Open in. Explorer. And terminal. Click. I don't have up. Java. Jar. Midnight. Cool. What's the attribute? What's the thing for? Is it task? What's this? Do you have a copy of it that you can just copy and paste
of
me,
what?
or the task for Shadow Jar? I know I got it in one of my projects, but
Yeah. Um,
I'm not sure which project I have that in.
yeah, I can copy paste it to you. Give me just a second.
Appreciate it.
Um, so you'll have
Sorry to
to
the viewers.
just rip it from here, but hold on. It's gonna yank it from
So I'm pretty
here.
sure I got to
So
add in something up here for the plugins, and there's something else down below for the shadow aspect, and I just can't remember what project I had it in.
I'm just stripping this down to just what you need.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
Sorry to the viewers for the hiccup.
there you go.
And why does that not like Shadow Jar? And why did I miss that end couple of
It
brackets?
will
Jesus.
it will be easier in the meantime just to show you with the demo application over here, though.
Yeah, because this does not like that Shadow Jar. Oh wait, no,
All
did
right.
I not get the GitHub thing, or am I missing something?
Well, you need the import at the top for Shadow Jar, and then you need the ID
Well, that's
in
the
your
thing, the
plugins.
import's not...
Yeah, so put the ID in your plugins, put the import at the top, and then refresh Gradle.
That's what I have. 100%, 100%.
Although uh, you might check for the new what the newest version of the um, Shadow plugin is, because this might be an older one that doesn't support 25, since this is copied from a JDK 11 project. But um, I think at this point it'll be better just to go ahead and move on with the demo application now.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a jar, give you a jar. I'm back looking at your screen. I just was trying to get a jar
Okay.
file that I could give you that you could run and attach
And we
to.
we could still do that just to continue, so that people aren't stuck in limbo watching.
I like Limbo. Just kidding.
But
Let's go.
so yes, loading a main class, you do in fact, get a run button, right? So we go ahead and run that. You get your little
Okay.
terminal
Now, what I'm
here.
curious about is now, are you able to, without having have started that from within JStudio, can you
Yeah,
run?
I can run and attach.
Okay, because I want you to run that as a completely different thing and then attach to it, because I'm curious to
Um,
that.
Let me. Where is too many things? Too many things.
Many choices, too many choices.
Explorer, PowerShell.
Wonderful. Cool.
So
Jar is
there.
there.
Although this one, I think for other things I was testing, I had the uh, authentication thing taken off. But so
Either
that's
way,
running. We can,
let's
you
attach.
know, uh,
Third from the bottom.
demo jar.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, JStudio. I saw that creep up on the terminal that it started and listened.
Yeah. Well, that's the agent attaching.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Um,
I saw the agent go to it. That's one of the
while
things I
you're
wanted to see.
attached, while you're attached to stuff, you can look at static values, static methods.
Okay.
Um, let's go look at some class that actually has instances of it. So like you can look at live instances. Like right now for task, this is all of the live instances of task in the JVM.
Okay, so now if you were to, can you modify that? Like, I'm just so curious to see if this can get like seen. Like, if you would modify one of these things to, yeah, change that to call Mike or whatever. Yeah, nope, nope, can't mod. Okay, okay. 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 Okay.
You can also edit code, but the easiest way to show you that I am going to run from in here. You'll see why. Um,
Oh, dude, this is so cool.
uh, so running, we get this little login prompt, right? Like
Hmm.
invalid
Boom,
password.
boom. Okay, so now,
So let's go over here and go to authentication coordinator, I think.
oh, we're just gonna bypass
Uh,
this bad boy, are we?
yeah, this. So let's just remove this check right there and recompile and patch.
Oh,
Boop. Some other stuff that you get when attached to something, you get kind of
oh, buddy.
a feed engine style debugger.
Oh shit, you got a debugger in
Um,
this too?
yep, you get
Oh man,
well,
this is more and
kind
more
of. I
like an
mean,
actual.
technically, all of this is facilitated through
And this whole
debugger
thing is powered by
mechanisms.
YABR.
Well, I mean, this side is powered. Yeah, Yabber doesn't have anything to do with like runtime stuff. This is all
Okay,
powered
it's just
by,
bytecode manipulation.
um, well, this is all powered by uh, an agent that attaches, and also JDI, which is a Java debug interface. So you can inspect, threads. You have a built-in, profiler,
Oh, that's cool as hell too.
um, value scanner. Oh no, sorry, debugger is something different. This is the cheat engine style like value scanner
Okay.
for
I was gonna say
searching
that
through
that
memory.
kind of reminded me of Cheat Engine by the looks of it.
You can you have a recorder, so with this you can record and then parse and read JFR like flight logs. Um, you
Wow.
also get this scratch pad, which lets you write Java and run it in the in the context of the running application. So like you pick a class and it'll run it in the same class loader context as that class. And it also has has its context where autocomplete. So like main, you see it's fully aware of everything that's there.
Oh, wow.
So you have that. Um, I'll go ahead and stop. The other neat thing that we can do is have this class that was actually specifically written for testing this. But we have what's called concrete symbolic execution. So we will go ahead and symbolic execution, analyze. So what this is this is going to allow us to step through the bytecode or optionally, visually show it as stepping through the source, but it's going to show you the operand stack, the local variable table, and also the call stack, and it will uh, symbolically execute or step through, uh, the code. Um, you can think of it like emulating bytecode. So like let's just do like 0, 10, 0. Down here you can, build out arguments if you have a method that takes arguments like this one is int int int.
Okay,
So we go
okay.
ahead and start. You can step through and watch the operand stack as it
Oh,
happens. Or also, step through the source. It's like if we were to run.
oh, that is cool. Oh, holy shit.
So you have that. Um, You also have heap forensics. So like test I built for this one, this generates a bunch of objects, so there's something for it to measure.
That
So
is impressive.
test heap, run analysis. Test heap uses symbolic execution to measure the state of the heap across, an entire execution path. So you get all of the different, objects that get created. Um, if you know all of the different times those objects get created, all the
Oh,
different
that's
times, that object gets mutated, uh, provenance, where the specific object was allocated at, um, and so on and so forth.
this is
So
super cool.
you have that. Um, uh, this was the first test implementation I did while I was writing the symbolic execution. But let's say we'll go back to symbolic execution test and 0, you know, 1. Um, we can do this fun thing where we'll fuzz and generate tests. Um, unless that's not wanting to.
Did it not like 65?
No, 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 no. Oh, I'm missing something. Sorry. UI issue. Run fuzz. So basically, what this does is it just fuzzes the inputs of a method with a ton of different random inputs, and then it picks the top n, where n is weighted by uh, uh, difference in execution path. So like variance in execution path that gets executed with the random arguments. Um,
Yeah.
and then tiebreaker with a difference in a result if there's a return, and a couple of different things. So basically, it just fuzzes and then finds the top end that do the cover the largest span of different behaviors in the method, and will generate a S class for you. Of course, this is under the assumption that the method does exactly what it's supposed to, and largely that the method is pure, but something sort of experimental I was playing with at one point.
So is this running against tests that are already cooked into the jar file, or
No, it
is
just it
this
just fuzzes
j
it just fuzzes inputs and then generates
well, I
tests across ones that
the reason I ask, sorry to cut you off there. The reason I asked is that I see that you have test class is saying symbolic execution tests test. So I was just wondering, is
yeah,
this
that's just so the name of the class that we're generating tests for is this. When it gives
okay?
a name, it just takes that name and puts test at the end.
So this can theoretically be attached to any file, not just test files, but any file and run tests against.
Well,
Like
this isn't a test file. It's just in
just
the name.
oh,
Like
okay. Just I was just gonna say because the fact that it said test threw me off. Okay.
um execute method will generate tests for um main methods, uh something that returns a value.
Oh, shit.
All of these are void. but yeah, no, that's just the name of the class. This
Okay.
is test classes aren't compiled
Well, that's
into
why I was
Java or
so
jar.
confused. I was like,
This is
yeah.
just a class I wrote to test the
Okay.
symbolic execution.
See,
But
that makes more sense for that. I was
you
just
have that,
yeah.
um, and then yeah, there is a full system for plugins. Um,
Dead.
a whole bunch of built-in keyboard shortcuts. Although that doesn't particularly matter here. Um,
Our
but
NeoVim
yeah,
friends would be happy.
what did you say?
Our NeoVim friends would be happy. They love their keyboard shortcuts. Shout out to Prof.
Keyboard shortcuts are nice. But I think that's about it. Although something that might impress you. Um,
Yes, yes, impress me, impress me.
so you know the client class in the
Hmm.
in OSRS, right? You know how that takes like a million years to decompile.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty big file. Here we go. All right. I should finish my coffee.
Done.
Hmm? Oh, I'll be. That is a very large file done very quickly. I remember this used to take like a couple of minutes to.
Well, it does with pretty much any other decompiler.
And that's what 40, 50,000 lines of code in a very short time. No, that's more than that.
41,000.
Okay, yeah, 41. Okay.
But yeah, outside of that, anything else that you wanted to ask or things you wanted to see?
Like, how long is it? How long were you working on this project for?
Yabber for about, I don't know, 4 years, give or take. It's just kind of been a hobby project. Um, JStudio, maybe the last 2 years. Um, JStudio is definitely not as fleshed out as Yabber. Most of I mean, I will go and fix bugs in it and stuff whenever I find them, or
Hmm.
whenever other people find them. But Yabber has definitely had a lot more, or has a lot more maturity. There are still some issues in JStudio's side, particularly dealing with its. Is one thing that Yabber does not do is Yabber doesn't parse source. Um, well, it doesn't parse a full class file, right? So like if you're lowering the source, you can pass it a method source, or so on and so forth. That's one gap that I never completely cleaned up,
Hmm.
which is where we ran into the issue earlier of fixing up the main file. um,
So, so what was it that led from Yabber to JStudio?
the JStudio is just a showcase of Yabber,
Okay. So
just something tangible
what
to
other
get more eyes, I guess.
hmm. Okay. And we'll ignore the background noise as my wife is throwing things around. I think she's cooking something. Well, anyway, um, what the what are some of the things that you would like to add that you just haven't had the time to add to JStudio?
Um, I don't actually have anything in mind right now. Right now, what I'm working on is well, I'm always focusing on hard hardening for Yabber. Right
Mm.
now, the main thing that I'm working on is so you remember I said like there's SSA and then there is the expressions and statements IR, right? Expression and
Yes.
statement is like more like a representation of higher level constructs. SSA is more of a direct representation, of the actual code that's just a little more fit for, the passes to, do optimization stuff. Um,
Mm.
so one thing that has to happen between those two layers, right? So lifting from SSA to um, uh, the expressions and statements IR is recovery, right? So recovery, what recovery has to do is it has to take SSA and actually secondarily takes in some other analysis stuff, but it has to look at sequences of stuff and understand, okay, well, this is a while loop, this is an if statement, this is a do while, this is a switch statement, etc. So it has to be able to recognize um and lift stuff into higher level structures. um the way that I originally did that um, was sorry, one second. The way that I originally did that was like, which is pretty typical, is like schema-based structural analysis, right? So
Mm.
basically, how that works is there's a fixed list of you basically have like a fixed list or a dictionary of known shapes that it looks for. That's going to be how a lot of other decompilers work because they assume what they're decompiling was compiled normally with Java. But that doesn't work particularly well for obfuscated and mangled bytecode, right?
Mm.
Um, but it's an endless journey of, or it's an endless journey of chasing like different mutations of different shapes and stuff, and adding um that building up a bunch of definitions for those. So I am replacing that system with something at the moment called the dream algorithm, or
Mm.
more technically, what's called a reaching condition or a reaching conditions engine,
Okay.
which I'm in the middle of doing that rewrite right now, but basically think I would give a TLDR there. So basically, instead of like with like the current structural analyzer does with matching against a fixed list of known shapes, um, Dream Dreamworks a DreamWorks Boolean conditions for exactly when each block runs and emits. So, like, a block is basically just a run of instructions um, um, up until branching, right? So branching is like instructions that like jump you somewhere else or conditionally jump you somewhere else.
Mm.
Um, so it works out Boolean conditions for exactly when each block is reached and when each block sends you somewhere else. Um,
Mm.
and then it takes those Boolean conditions and it folds those Boolean conditions back into higher level structures, um, which could link the paper on it. It is a very, very, very heavy read, though. Um, but the benefit of this type of approach is since it's not statically matching shapes. Um, there, as long as you have you have lifting in this for all of the different possible higher level shapes. There isn't really going to be any patterns that it can fail on. Um, Now it might, get some things technically not as pretty an emission as it could, which you notice, the way that it emitted your if then statements in the
Hmm.
in your code that decompiled. But the benefit there is that it's never going to fail. It's never going to, um, shit itself or emit something completely unreadable.
True.
Um, and when this was created, the context for this algorithm has largely just been used in for native pseudocode recovery, and the idea is that, or its tagline, is no more go-tos, no more go-tos, pseudocode emission,
Mm.
no more decompiler artifacts. But right now, that's uh, the big change that I'm working on is implementing that and
Now,
doing away with the old system.
how well does this hold up for other Java lang or other JVM languages? Like if I had a jar
It
that had
it doesn't
Kotlin.
any better. It doesn't any better or worse than any other decompiler.
Okay,
I
so like
mean,
if I had a
Cot,
jar,
Cot,
if I had a sorry.
Kotlin compiles to the same bytecode as Java. It's just gonna
Hmm.
decompile it as Java. It's gonna look a little bit uglier because Kotlin's contracts and compilation are very different from Java, but
This is probably a
it's not
question
gonna
for.
it's not gonna spit out Kotlin code for you, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, so it is going to come back with Java code. It's all going to be more or less
Yeah.
converted. Now, what if
Well,
I don't know?
not not converted. The
Well,
bytecode is the same.
yeah, it's true.
Um,
Okay, bad choice of
so
word. Bad choice of
just
word.
decompiling it as Java.
So now I don't know this because I don't use Scala or Clojure, but do those also pack into a jar file?
Yeah, any JVM language is going to
Okay,
compile down into bytecode.
I kind of assumed that, but I didn't want to assume anything because like
No, there is no
assumptions are bad.
alternative.
Okay, so how well would this handle something like Clojure, or is it again going to pull it back to Java because of the way it's compiled?
It's just the decompiler is for Java. It's going to take the bytecode and
Hmm.
emit a best face representation in Java. So you're never going to get any other languages out of it.
I was just curious because I'm thinking like, what a cheap way to convert my like Ethan's Clojure code into Java.
It'd be very ugly.
Oh, probably. It'd be a dumpster fire. Okay, sorry, that's just an inside joke. Um, do you see JStudio going very far? Like are these both open source?
Yep.
Okay, so they are both
Um,
open source.
Again, JStudio largely started and has existed as a learning project and a showcase project, and now it's just so I don't know how to answer that question because I don't really know how it would quantify going far. It's something I've worked on and will continue to work on because the
I guess my question is like, do you have any sort of goal in mind where you're like, I will be satisfied with this project?
no, there's that's not about an end result. It's about learning. Again, it's a learning project. I am very
Fuck
rarely
yeah.
motivated by an end result.
Fuck
It's
yeah. I love you, dude. That's such a
I
great way to go.
like to learn things.
Yeah, stay curious. I fucking love it,
I
man.
think a lot of people scare themselves off from ever doing anything meaningful, because they're too focused on the end project and super optimally getting there. And
Hmm.
the irony in that is, they end up never getting there. Um,
I feel like that's very much because people want to start the journey and get to the end without the trip.
well, they yeah they want the result,
Hmm.
but
Or I guess they want
and
to start the project and get the end result without ever doing the journey, I should say. And honestly, the journey is like the best part. It's like the most enjoyable part of a road trip.
I feel, at least in my opinion, I feel like that's the curiosity that you need to be, successful in any sort of technical field. So I
Mm,
mean, the journey is the field itself, right? Like the devil's in the
exactly.
details. If you don't
Exactly.
have an interest in the details, then you don't have an interest in the domain. If you don't have an interest in the domain, how do you expect to be successful in it?
Exactly. Now, there was another project that you were working on. Is that also related to YABR? You were working on
Of the
something
transpiler?
that transpile. Yes, that
Yeah.
changed
So
your
I would.
jar into C sharp, right?
Yeah. So the transpiler was also a Java project. It would take in a jar and it would use Yabber to emit the it would use Yabber to emit the procedural expressions and statements IR, and then take the IR in its programmatic uh, you know code structured form. Use that to emit and generate a C sharp project, which would then get compiled. That's still in progress at the moment. At least the local version of that is a little
Hmm.
broken because I was working on uh, changing how some stuff worked. But the furthest point I got to that is I was able to transpile a little Java game using JMonkey, which means that it successfully completely transpiled JMonkey itself.
Mhm. Oh yes, yes. Do you happen to have an example that you can show of that before we wrap this up, or?
Again, it's not working locally. I can pull up the JMonkey or the clip of it transpiling that though.
Hmm.
Um,
'Cause
Give me just a moment to find it.
we'll take a look at this and wrap things up and tease our people with something that may someday be another Dev Cafe chat.
Yeah, just a
Because
moment. Gotta find it.
I always thought that this was a super cool little project, being able to ultimately transform your code from one thing to another.
Here.
All right.
So this is the game running in Java,
Yes, I remember jumping around these colorful blocks.
and then JC or J2CS spitting out the uh, .NET project and executable into out. Takes a second.
This is so cool. Like what would have led you to want to create this program to transform
Oh
code?
no,
Just curiosity.
neat project to be able to say that I've written, and great uh, trial by fire stress test of several of the systems in Yabber. And then here it is running as an exe. You'll notice noticeably a little bit faster.
Jesus, that is cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I am super curious to where that was going to go to in the future. For our viewers, if you're curious to where that's going to go as well, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the cafe. The coffee cup seems to have run out. Same as my questions for Tonic. If you guys have missed the live stream and missed the live chat, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments, and I will make sure to bully Tonic into answering those.
Yeah.
As
I'll answer
always,
stuff.
folks, keep your curiosity open, your skills sharp, and that coffee cup full.